We made good progress, and we're nearing the end of this module. There are two more things I want to do. One, I also want to store the user ID in any order I place, so that on the back end in the orders, we not only have ingredients, but in the order data, or as an extra field, we also store the user ID of the user who made that order. That's another nice improvement to our app, and we can then also make sure we only fetch orders by that user. The other thing I want to do is, I also want to make sure that you can only visit the orders page and the checkout page, even though we do redirect there if you are not building a burger, but that you can visit both only if you are logged in. What I also want to do is that if you're logged out, as I am here now, if you visit /orders, you can't go there. We already removed the navigation item, but manually visiting it works. So these are the things I want to do. Let's start with guarding the orders page so that unauthenticated users can't visit it. For that, I taught you how to do this in the routing section. It's super easy due to the way React Router works. In the app container, where we have all our routes, if we don't render this route component, we got no way of going there. We just can't reach it because the React router is not aware of it and will never load it. For that reason, we can simply add a constant here to the app component, map state to props to access our state, and map it to props, surprisingly. And then here, I want to return a JavaScript object and add is authenticated as a prop, and set this equal to state of and this old check where we compare the token to not being null. Let's now pass map state to props to the connect function. And now we can access is authenticated in our container. And there I want to use it on the orders and the checkout page. So actually, I'll create a new variable, which I'll name routes here, which holds some JSX. These should be my default routes. And then I'll add an if statement where I check if this props is authenticated as the case, so if we are logged in, and then routes will look different. So my unauthenticated routes should be auth and /. So I'll copy all of that here and remove the logout route. And I need to wrap this, of course, because this isn't liked by my JSX code here. So we can just cut the switch statement here too, because these now are all our routes. We don't need it down there. This is the routing setup for unauthenticated users now. Matches our links. Now the setup for authenticated users are the remaining routes. So let's cut them here and add them here. And let's get rid of the auth route because I don't need to go to /auth if I am authenticated. All the other routes are valid though. So auth and / is available for unauthenticated users. For authenticated users, checkout, orders, logout, and / are available. And now in my JSX code down there, I simply render my routes, so this variable. With that, we have guards in place. We now can't reach the orders page if we're not authenticated. You can already see this here. If I go to orders like this, nothing happens. You see an empty page. Now, to not just see an empty page, we can of course make sure that we redirect the user. Now to do that, to redirect to / for any unknown route, for example, we can add the redirect component here and add that to our switch statement, redirect to just /. Now let's close this here. Now, orders redirects us to Burger Builder. Authenticate still works though, because the switch statement picks the first hit. But anything unknown, including orders, which now is unknown because we don't render that route, redirects us back to the main page. Now the same for our other routes here. There, for anything unknown, I also want to go to the root page. And with that, we got guards in place, and we make sure we can't visit pages we shouldn't be able to. Now, one important note, since this of course is all JavaScript, people can of course always theoretically dig into your source code and still kind of manipulate it to still go to the protected route. This is why we have protection on the server to not return any data for unauthenticated users. This is how you protect your data. The front end is only about providing a user experience that makes sense and to prevent the user from accidentally visiting a page he shouldn't be able to visit to because he won't be able to do anything on it. So this is route protection on the front end with guards. Now let's move on to using our user data on our orders so that when we place an order, when we're authenticated, we do indeed use that.